Rodniks are humming in the dead of the night. Electric bills climbing, ain't feeling right. Hash rates dropping, profits thin as air. I'm digging for gold, but there's none down there. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't choose. But there's a spark in the AI glow. Rent my computer, let the profits grow. Once I was king with my GPUs. Now I'm stuck paying the power dues. Every coin I mine feels heavier than lead, but I hear whispers of a future ahead. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't lose. Switch my power to the AI flow, turn this burden into a glow. I see the light, it's flickering on. AI's calling my machines to respond. No more digging in the blockchain dirt. This pivot might just heal the hurt. I got the crypto mining blues, but I'm stepping in brand new shoes. The AI train's on a steady roll, gonna wreck compute and regain control.
I was digging deep in the digital ground, hoping for treasure, but nothing was found. The rigs were buzzing, the heat was real. Electric bills biting like a thief who steals. The crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. I stacked up GPUs, thought I'd strike it rich, but the market's a beast with a wicked glitch. Hash rates climbing, rewards falling flat. Chasing that coin, I'm chasing a cat. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. AI knocking, it's a brand new game, whispering sweet that it knows my name. Ran out the power, let it learn and dream. A smarter hustle, a brand new scheme. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, no more feudal race, just AI visions lighting up the space. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my days. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, lighten up the space.
Oh, you could hear that, huh? How you guys doing tonight? Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Saturday. It has been a week, as they always all seem to be. But lately, mine have been a little difficult, shall we say. One of the biggest difficulties was troubleshooting this server. It's just been making me crazy. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's see who is here. We got Frogman Mining being number one. Dan Bulmer. Jay Styles. Bleach 500. The Toxic Miner. Pearl Rival. Good to see you. Yeah, definitely not muted. Enable is here. And I think that about covers it from everybody who's been in chat. We'll let people kind of trickle in a bit. But yeah, it's I feel a light at the end of the tunnel finally with this server. So I keep saying that I'm just like, I'm just gonna move over to this Threadripper, and I'm like, it's such a pain to move stuff from one machine to another. Yeah, I guess I'd learn, but I'm like, I just want it to be easy. So I'm willing to spend money in order, because I'm like, oh, this will be it. Nah, this will be it. So take you through my troubleshooting steps. First, it was, well, most likely it's the power supply, right? You know, it's not providing enough power. That was a bad decision on that one. But hey, now I got an extra power supply, so no biggie. But then I changed to a different motherboard, a new motherboard. That was actually a good move. It has much better power delivery, but either the last motherboard damaged the CPU, or, as I've been reading, Zen 3 is known to have degradation over the years, and eventually will get in this type of state. So today I spent my time doing all kinds of different settings, overclocking settings, voltage settings, anything under the sun. I was talking to ChatGPT, I was talking to Claude. Nothing was definitively working. It was somewhat working. And then I don't remember if it was Claude or ChatGPT that said, hey, well, why don't you just like try turning off a few cores? So I did actually turn off 8 cores and got it working fine. It was solid. So I know I can have it run as an 8-core machine if I wanted to, but on this particular machine, I need 16. So then after that, I was trying to figure out how to make my BIOS allow me to actually turn off a few cores so that it would be like a 12-core processor, and see if that would work. Since the 8 worked, the way I got the 8 to work is I turned off one of the chiplets. So it was only using one chiplet. But if I could turn off, like right now, it's like thread 29 is the biggest problem, which is core 13, I believe. Actually, core 12. Core 12. So core 12, 29, I believe is the way it is. Anyway, because it starts from 0. Anyway, but yeah, it no, actually it's core 13. Core 13, thread 22. So anyway, or 29. And yeah. So sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. So I was trying to figure out how to do that, and jumped through every hoop that ChatGPT threw me down. And it literally, oh yeah, I got it this time. Oh yeah, I got it this time. I got it this time. Oh, this is definitely going to be it. Never did get it. So then I started going down the rabbit hole of, well, maybe if we go back to a different BIOS, but then there's still no guarantee. And I finally just said, you know what? Screw it. If I use the CPU again, it's going to be an 8-core processor, and that's what I'll use it for. If I ever use it, maybe I'll use it with that motherboard that I think is probably still fine, and would probably work fine. I could probably, there is a way to actually set the TDP to 65 watts minimum. So anyway, I'll figure that out later, much later. But I did finally tonight, right before the stream, order a replacement 5950X. All of these are within the 30-day window. So if I put that 5950X in the machine and I'm still having problems, I'm going to take the 5950X and put it back in the box. I'm going to take the motherboard and put it back in the box. And then I'm going to take that computer and throw it out the window at this point, because I pretty much had it with that thing. But, you know, memory still seems to be good. Both drives seem to be good. Just, it'd be really easy just to put it in there. Now, this particular CPU was a used CPU that I bought. So it did last for a good period, but maybe it had a rough life before it got to me. So have no idea of knowing that. Maybe a little bit of lesson learned. But again, I have heard that this is somewhat common with Zen 3. But that has delayed me on the Threadripper build. And before I get into that, let me check the chat. See, 10 minutes to midnight is here. Skiddly diddly doo bada boop. Nice. Scott Rhodes is here. Finally caught it live. Well, hey, you know, I love all you guys that do watch it after the fact. I do appreciate that. And I'm surprised there's as many people I think that watch it after the fact that watch it live. That always surprises me because I don't watch lives after the fact. Again, appreciate that you do. So don't let me discourage you. But yeah. So appreciate all you guys that view after the fact. Say it ain't so, Max. About what? I'm not sure. Sorry, Jay Styles. I didn't see that the first time when I read through the chat. Let me know what say what ain't so. Steven Cicero is here. Hello. So yeah, the update. So that's what's also strange. So the BIOS, the most recent BIOS, that's not a beta, is 3621, which I'm on. Except the one I'm on is dated January, while the one on the website's dated April. So thought about possibly just replacing it with the one that was on the website and seeing maybe if that would help. I don't know. I didn't get any clear direction on that. And I'm probably just going to have to bite the bullet and get Claude. Pay for Claude, because I keep running up against their token limits for the free tier. So yeah, it's everything is pointing to the CPU at this point. So I feel pretty confident that when I put in a new CPU, it's going to be good. I think. Croupman. Oh, yes, you are here. Croupman is joining again this week. Sweet. Love that. All right, so let me switch over to that. Bear with me here 1 second. Croupman, say something.
Yo, can you hear me?
Can you guys hear him? Because I cannot hear him.
Can you hear me?
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
No.
Me? Can you hear me?
I am not hearing you. Wait a minute.
Oh,
There we go.
How about now?
I can hear you.
All
Oh,
right.
hold on. I know I'm echoing. Give me a second. All right. I should be good now.
What's up, man?
Not much. What's up with you?
No, I just put my kids and my wife to bed. A little tired. You got... Yeah. I mean,
I
Saturdays
just put my kids
and my
and
wife
my
to
wife
bed.
to bed.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. My wife falls asleep. So I'm a night owl. Like, I'm up all night. My wife goes to bed at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It was a marriage made in heaven, actually. So you got me for about 45 minutes, and then I got to do a bunch of YouTube stuff. You know, it never ends, right?
Yeah, I really should be doing some stuff like videos and stuff. Although I did actually start taping. I took some pictures and did some video of replacing the motherboard in the server. So I did talk about that. Now I got to kind of figure out I'm going to work it into a video about everything else I just did today. It literally was, well, so yesterday morning, so I worked second shift last night. So yesterday morning, I'm like, cool. The the motherboard's coming in tomorrow morning. I'm gonna have this thing up and running before I leave. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Well,
Obviously.
but that's like typical like mining, networking, whatever, right? When something breaks, no matter how smart you are, no matter how much you know, it'll stay broken forever.
But
Like,
here's the best part, and this is what I always focus on. I'll tell you something about like what I did with my sister today too. Is that when you have issues like this and you continue to troubleshoot, each step of that troubleshooting may not fix your problem, but you learn something that you can use in the future. Like I didn't know that the BIOS could you could turn off cores in the BIOS. I didn't know that there were unlocked like menus that you have to like trigger to unlock in an Asus BIOS. I had no idea.
you know, you're right. Like, I was helping somebody troubleshoot a PC, and I remembered this one time I had this stupid motherboard that wasn't, you know, I couldn't get mining right. And I was like, wait a minute, that's the answer. And this is like 4 years later. And he's like, how'd you figure that out? And I'm like, don't ask. You know, like you wasted, you remember the old days of mining or whatever, when you'd have like one GPU down or like one rig down and you couldn't focus on life. Like you could be like, you could take a day off from work because you had to get this up because it drive you crazy.
And that's the thing. Sometimes you're also too close to the problem that sometimes when you bring in another set of eyes, it really helps. I've told this story before. Iowa Mining reached out to me like out of the blue. Didn't really know who he was other than he was on streams and stuff. But and I honestly, it's the first time I had ever really spoken to him one-on-one. And I'm like, oh, great. Is this going to be one of those, hey, just help me put this together? No. He was like, I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. I'm like, hey, you did everything that I would have done. And then I took a step back and looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I think this was one of the breakout boards that you could hook up to an ATX motherboard.
Oh,
except that cable was bad. So now I did have the advantage that I had been working for that company that was selling those parallel miner for a little bit in their customer support. And so I knew that. So I said, do you have another power supply? He's like, yeah. I said, power your motherboard with the other power supply, power your GPUs with the server power supply, and I bet it'll get up and running. And he did that, and it worked. And look at where he is now. He would not be there without me.
So it's funny. Swamp 7 says read the documentation. All right. So I had a sponsored build from MSI. I worked on this week, right? Like it took a while because I had to film like so many different parts of building it because like this one build is 6 different videos. So like, you know, when you have to film 6 videos, you're like, okay, well, I got to film this for this, and hope you don't forget something, right? And it's Project Zero, you know, where like the connectors are behind the motherboard, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm building it, and then I'm building it, and I'm putting the AIO in, and I'm like trying to figure this out, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then I was like, oh God, I have to read the manual. And I felt dirty, right? Like I was like, oh, because like, look, I would consider, and I, you know, I'm tooting my own horn. I would consider myself a semi-professional PC builder. Like people come to me, ask me advice, like I really know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But I know so little compared to like so many other smart people. And like, I know that I don't know a lot, and that's fine. But when I had to go to the manual to figure out something with an AIO, I was like, ugh. And it makes it worse. What you're not going to see on the video is the fact that I had to rip apart this computer 4 times because I installed it wrong because I wasn't reading anything. Because I don't read manuals. I don't do that shit.
So, okay, I'm exactly like that. Did you have that part of the video taped where you had to rip it apart?
No, because it looks bad for the sponsor and it doesn't look good. I also broke the motherboard. Well, that's
true. I forgot it was because those are, by the way, those are the best. Those are the videos that get the best views. I've learned.
Yeah, but like this is like I also broke the motherboard and I had to solder some of the pins back on.
Oh well, yeah.
Because like maybe. So no, because it's like a back plate. It's like a Project Zero, so all the pins are in the back of the motherboard.
Yeah, I know.
So you know how you build a motherboard? You just put everything down and you put it all on. Well, with the project, and I am going to talk about this in the video, but the Project Zero stuff, you're supposed to. It's easier to put it in the case and then drop it all on.
Mm-hmm.
So I broke like 3 pins on the motherboard, and the worst part about that is I look at it, I'm like, damn it, that's just more work. Like, you know, most people would be like, oh, I broke the motherboard. Break out the soldering iron, solder them all back together, and it's fine. Looks ugly, but it's.
I'm
on the
telling
back.
you, you should absolutely post that because you made a mistake. Other people will learn from that mistake. The sponsor shouldn't get mad about it because
No,
you're pointing
no.
out what not to do.
No, I'm gonna talk about. I'm not gonna show that I broke the product.
You should.
That I'm. Nah, I did. Yeah, I don't know. But it was anyway. All I'm getting at is you should read the manuals, and I hate reading manuals.
I am usually a manual reader unless I've motherboard. I've installed probably not 100, around 100 motherboards, probably something
Yeah,
like
probably.
something on that
I've done
order.
more than that, probably.
And it's like, what is there to know? I
Well,
know,
okay.
and the only thing is okay. I'm gonna go through all the menus, and if I don't understand something, I'm gonna look if there's a helper like text to say what it
Yeah.
is, and if I can't figure it out, I'll go to it to go to the manual, and I especially go to the manual when it's like, oh wait a minute, how is this thing? Does it have bifurcation on PCIe? How are the M.2? How are they wired? What goes to the chipset? What goes to the CPU? I look at those all the time.
That's what you have to read because
that is what you have to read.
My 5090 Dream PC I built, right? Got all sponsored up, built it, and then someone told me in the video, they're like, "You're
You're on 8 times, yeah.
only running at X8." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh fuck," and it was. And after that, I was like, "Well, I need to read because like AM5 bifurcation sucks."
It isn't very good. I don't know why. Like if you look at like a lot of X570 boards, a lot of them have it where you can have two GPUs in the machine and each one takes eight lanes. There are so few AM5 boards that do that. It is so rare, and that's so frustrating.
So I was talking to a few people about that with like AI rentals and stuff, and they were saying that like they're not sure if they want to go AM5 for like faster.
I would not do AM5 unless you're only planning on doing one GPU in the machine. If you want to go 2 or more, yeah, don't go AM5. It makes no sense.
Well, so I'm debating. So like, I'm not. So I was thinking about trying a vast. Like I'm gonna be bothering you because I'm gonna be redoing my network once my studio gets up. So probably before the end of this year. But anyway, but like for vast, I'm not sure if I want to run an AM4 platform. Actually,
I haven't run into any problems.
No.
It's done well.
Does it affect your money? Like how much you earn on that 5090?
I mean, I suppose it might a little bit, but I haven't really noticed it so much.
Because like I don't want to buy because I have one I like what I have now. I really don't want to spend any more money. Like if I spent more money, the only thing I would buy is 5090s because they're store as we talk, they're stores of value.
Mm-hmm. And even more so now. A nice transition there, by the way. So Moore's Law is Dead had a video this week, and
don't get me
talked
started
about the fact that 50 and this is predictable. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is a huge story. It shouldn't be. This is what Nvidia does when they come out with their supers. Their new flagship is gonna be the top super, and it'll be the 5080 Super. They will not be making any more 5090s.
So okay, so I don't know if that's true.
That's what they did with the 4090s. Why would they do it any different?
They still made 4090s. They still made them. They made them. Listen. I can't say. All right. So this is a weird position for me. I know something. I gotta figure out a way to say this. I'm not NDA'd. And I don't know if I'm going to be getting NDA'd anytime soon. But I would expect everything that happened last year, or everything that happened with the last Super Series. So let's go back to 2024, right? Right. It was 2024 to play out exactly the same way.
You would or you would not expect?
I would.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be no 5090 refresh because there's no competitor.
Right.
There's going to be none, and they're not going to stop making 5090s. And I would argue the difference now than then is that AI was not a thing back then in 2024.
True.
Not to this level. And I think you're going to see 5090s stay on their production. Like they're not having issues selling 5090s. So like the funny thing is, here's the funny thing in this industry, right? We have been trained in the last 4 years, 5 years since 2020. If a GPU is at MSRP and in stock, something's wrong. Think about that. Just think about that.
I know.
Like, that's not the way things normally work, right? Like, the fact that you can buy a 5090 for like 30 or for like, I don't know, $2,400, right? People think that's a sign that something's wrong. How is that a sign that something's wrong? Right? So like what I'm trying to say is Nvidia's actually clearing out stock of their regular 50 series, and there's going to be a shortage when the supers drop, like there always is. We're going to have another artificially made GPU shortage, and the 5090 supply is going to be so much worse next year. Once Max, you'll see it before anybody else because you're the AI guy. Once these 5090s start getting AI jobs, remember we were talking about transitioning?
Yeah.
Then everybody's going to buy them. They're already going to China for what, 96 gig mods, right?
So are the funny thing you mentioned that, because there was somebody in my chat, my Discord chat, basically said, yeah, he sold a 4090 for like $2,000 or something.
Sure.
And the person drove to him, picked it up, and the person was driving across the country.
Yeah.
And she was Asian, and she's like, well, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm driving across the country, and I'm picking all these up, and then I'm getting to, the Bay Area, and I'm shipping it to China for 48 gig or 90 or higher models.
So I know some people that I actually know, and these aren't industry people. These are just people who buy GPUs. We were having a discussion that people were like, oh, 5090 shortage is over. And I'm like, it's not, because there are people out there paying $2,400, $2,500 for 5090s. So when they did that 5090 drop that I tagged you 500 times, half the people who bought them that I know sold them. Like I can't do that. Like if I got caught doing that, my cred would be screwed. But I know people who did it. Mine's sitting here in my computer. But I think that there won't be 5090s. They won't stop making them. But it'll be interesting to see how many people want 49, 48, or 5080 supers. That will be interesting.
That will be.
Because I did this big video that caused a shit ton of commotion right before CES last year. And I was like, you guys should be happy. We're only getting 16 gigs of VRAM. And I said, market separation is huge. I said, because if these things launch with 24 gigs of VRAM, you will never get your hands on one. Because if Nvidia does not segment this market, people like you are going to buy 50 of them. Right?
Yeah.
So like
5080 supers, I'll probably be focused on the 5070s, 5070 Ti supers.
But the point is,
how are they VRAM?
How are they going to separate the market, right? Like how is there going to be market segmentation when these GPUs suddenly are amazing for AI? Unless that's their plan, unless they want to do that.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like
you're not wrong.
Like I've been telling anybody who will listen to buy GPUs now. Like holidays are supposed to be the worst time to buy products, and this is actually the best time to buy graphics cards. Like
it's certainly not a bad time. It's gonna get worse. Let's just.
It's gonna be so bad. The stuff that you want right, like I bought a 5060 Ti today for $200 on Newegg.
Oh, 8 gig.
Who cares? $200, dude.
I'm just saying. I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, that's impossible. But it was because it was an 8 gig model.
Dude, for $200, there's no such thing.
Nobody wants the 8 gig model. That's the thing. Well, but it still works, and it still works well. I'm not faulting you for it, especially when you're putting it in a rig where you're gonna have some kid or some family.
No, it's for content. I'm not selling it. It's strictly for content, but it's gonna show that if the 5060 Ti 8 gig was $200, would be the best GPU on the market. Nothing would touch it. And I don't give a fuck about 8 gigs VRAM. Like, there's nothing you can do to tell me that a $200 5060 Ti isn't the best value out there right now.
It is. I mean, that's the thing is everybody's so focused on, well, I need more VRAM. Sure, certainly if you're in the game that I'm in, yes. But if you are gaming, are you gaming at higher than 1440p? Probably not. 8 gig is probably fine. And a lot of people are still gaming at HD. So if you're at HD, 8 gig is perfectly fine.
But even if you're in 1440p, are you upscaled? Because you're not. Because my biggest pet peeve that I have to keep my mouth shut on because I'm in a very minority opinion and I'm wrong on this and I admit it. People go, I'm playing 4K upscaling, and I'm like, you're not playing 4K if you're using upscaling. It's not
Snob.
real.
You're just being a snob.
Oh, like this thing right here, that thing right there, biggest definition of snobism right there. Like, I'm not even trying to hide it. Oh, by the way, the RAM thing just made me think about something. The RAM shortage, the DDR4 and DDR5 RAM shortage. I've been
Yeah.
talking to some people in the
It's gonna
industry.
get bad.
No,
Already has
no,
gotten bad, but
you don't understand.
I
thought
do.
it
But go
was-
ahead.
You thought it was gonna be bad. It's gonna be like COVID looked good.
No, I
Like-
get it. I totally get it. I mean, they're buying up DDR5 as much as they can get, and they're going to buy it at a premium. And that means that consumers will have very little access to it. Right now, what's out there is going to get gobbled up, and people are going to start hoarding it.
So I have two contacts in the industry who are talking to their bosses, and I sent them some questions. Like they want to go on record about it, right? And these are soft. Like I'm like, look, I'm not trying to corner you. I'm giving you softball questions. I literally just want you to help understand the business. Like I want you to help tell gamers how bad this is going to be, right? So I'm waiting for them to get back to me. But other sources off the record, completely off the record, have told me that you're talking like take when they were getting scalped and times it by 2. Like this is me interjecting, but I think you'll see $300 kits of 32 gig DDR4 or DDR5 RAM. Think about that. $300.
I know.
$300.
It's already gone up. It's already gone up to over 20%.
20. It's already, dude. DDR5 kits have doubled. I have like so much DDR4 from random builds. I might just take them out of the builds and sell the builds without the RAM.
Now you understand why I bought the Threadripper system. 128 gigs of DDR5 RDIMMs. And remember, I bought the whole thing, including motherboard and CPU, for $2,000. That was it. Hell, I'd probably be able to, in about 4 months, be able to sell this for $2,000.
Yeah,
128.
I know people that are hoarding SODIMM RAM, like that are hoarding that RAM now.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? It's like a store of value.
Yeah.
And it's not going to get any. I'm trying to find out if it's going to get better. Like what I don't know is, you know how with GPUs you only have so much you can make because of fab.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the same for RAM. So I'm trying to find out if they could just crank up RAM production and it'll just make this go away.
No, you can't do that with anything. Anything electronic manufacturing, you can't.
No,
You really can't.
really?
So I don't know if you knew this, but in a past life, about 5 years ago, I was in the electronics manufacturing industry. So basically,
No, I didn't know that.
company I worked for made PCBs for commercial companies, and we did box builds as well and stuff. But so obviously we were sourcing microchips, resistors, capacitors, inductors, all that stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, COVID sucked. COVID really sucked.
Well, I mean, for who? It depends who you were. I depends who you were, right?
Yeah. But remember, all around that same time, there were like fires and stuff over there. So there was a lot of capacity that was down. It was just a perfect storm of really bad stuff where certain companies couldn't get their products made because they didn't have alternate parts that we could choose from. So anyway, I learned from that no, you can't just like, let's just turn the dial, let's turn it up. Nope. Can't do it. 'Cause remember, they got to get supplies too. And a lot of the stuff that they get isn't like they're getting out of the ground, rare earth metals, whatever. And you think, resistors and capacitors, like super easy to make. Well, they are, but there's still capacity constraints. So yeah, it's not like they're just going to be able to turn it up.
And did you see that freaking DDR4 memory's gone up more than DDR5?
I didn't see that.
People were going so people in the used market are like trying to scramble to build to get RAM, and nobody's making DDR4 anymore, and prices are going up and up I have this. It's funny. I have this 64 gig DDR4 kit that I forgot to sell years ago, and I'm like, oh, its value's so low. Now I'm not even gonna sell it. Now I'm like, holy shit! If it wasn't on two salad rigs, it'd be I'd be like, oh, this is free money. But now I don't want to sell it.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I know what you had said about sell those 4090s, buy 5090s, and now I'm like, you know what? Nope, because those 4090s are actually just as valuable. I can still get more for them versus what I paid for them. Yeah, I could replace them with 5090s.
Why wouldn't you replace them for 5090s? That's like they're 5090s just better.
Because the 5090s aren't rented as much as the 4090s.
Man,
the 4090s are rented more. They're more profitable. Believe me, King has said the same thing. King has said the exact same thing. He's like, I wouldn't get 5090s. I'd get more 4090s if I had a source.
Yeah. You get they're great until they're not. Like you're just gonna wake up one day and the 5090 is gonna be better.
I mean, yeah. The problem is until that happens, you're sitting on. Last time I checked, I literally have not checked my rentals at all today. That's how distracted I was with my server today. I usually check my rentals a couple times a day, at least. And so right now, not bad. I've got two 4090s out of my 15 that are not rented. Everything else is rented. On my 5090s, not bad. And now there's now 3. Oh, interesting. 3 out. Oh my God, that's so tempting. Sorry. 3 out of my 4 5090s are now rented. What's odd though, the one that is over 90.9% reliable is the one that's not rented.
Dude, so that's the one thing, like as I start to dabble more into AI, and I'm gonna dive into it a lot heavier once I redo my network, because I feel like right now with Salad being profitable, like it's not incredible, right? These numbers are like, I'll tell you right now, like a 5090 is 19 cents and a 4090 16 cents. So that's not like incredible, right? Mm-hmm. But it's fine for now, right? Like for now, it's 100%. I give Salad this since I've got on, it's 100% usage. I haven't had any downtime since I started doing all that. But anyway,
what are you making on Salad on a 5090?
19 cents an hour. It's okay. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to make more on, like, I'm going to switch it to something better.
Yeah. So I'm on Vast, and I'm making about 19.5 to 20 cents. Yeah. But I'm not rented 100% of the time either.
Oh, well, the Salad.
So right now I'm making about 370 a day is what it's averaging right now. So not horribly, but
and I'm not telling everybody they should go to Salad. All I'm saying is right now it's 100% rented, so I don't want to mess with it. And like when I do the studio, when the studio gets done, which got pushed back to December, I talked to my contractor. I'm not thrilled about that, but I'm going to use that as an excuse to totally overhaul the network, and I'm going to kidnap you because you know how everybody has that thing that scares them where they probably can figure it out, but they're just scared. Network security terrifies me. Like I'm pretty good at it.
There's this guy that
scares me a little bit
that loves to do it. Absolutely loves to do it. And he'd be happy to help you for free. His name's Red Panda Mining. He loves networking.
Well, Red Panda Mining. So you know what's funny? It says Red Panda Mining, I will never DM you first. He actually just DM'd me. Do you think that's the real Red Panda Mining?
Depends on what he said.
What?
Depends on what he said.
Well, you know how you know it's the real Red Panda Mining? Because he ats you 5 times before he says a message. And then it's like a half garbled mess where it should look like a spammer, but you're like, oh, that's him. Like if he suddenly messaged me with correct English, I'd be like, is that a spam account? Pretending it's Red Panda. So hold on. So I was going over your chat, right? And Rizzo529 said, didn't someone say that the 50 series is less popular due to Nvidia getting rid of 32-bit compute and the 40 series still has it on the die? I know that's true for gaming, but is that true for AI rentals?
I don't know. The reason why the 4090s are more popular is because the 5090s have some changes, and so people that have been running AI for a long period of time, they have to make changes to what they have developed in order to use Blackwell series.
Yeah.
And why, if you can get 4090s and it's good enough for you, why would you change? And
Because
so there's a lot of
5090s
people.
will last longer.
No. These are people that are renting.
Oh.
Why would people who are renting change if there's still 4090s available to rent? They
Oh
wouldn't.
yeah.
And that's what they've been finding, is that they're not changing. They're staying on 4090s. So yeah.
Oh, that's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
actually on Salad, I don't know which one this is, but I've got one GPU making like 7.5 cents a day, and it's either a 3060 or a 3060 Ti.
Wait,
Pretty
are you
cool.
really?
Yeah,
And it's fully rented?
no,
Because
it's rented now. I didn't
Oh,
say fully rented.
so-
It's rented now.
so I have a
Yeah.
40. So this is interesting, and I think I'm gonna do a video on this, right? I have 4 rigs on Salad, right?
Mhm.
And I can tell what they are even without the names being right. So the 4070 Ti Super, I can't believe they named it that, makes 8 cents an hour, and the 4070 Ti makes 7 cents an hour, right? And it makes me wonder, like I pulled my 3090 off because it was making the same as the 4070 Ti Super, and it uses less power. And it makes me wonder if maybe I should swap, because I have a 4070 Super, right? That's in demand in Salad. And I'm like, should I take the Ti Super off and replace it with the Super? Because it uses like half the, like a lot less power, and it makes you like 1 cent less an hour. So it's making me, it's something that I was thinking about. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. That's the thing about Salad, is I don't get how they get their pricing, because it's like you get rented and you're like, how is this thing making this much? And then some things that are lesser, like the 4070 Ti or 4070 series, I don't know. It just kind of has me scratching my head sometimes.
Well,
But
I mean,
they're just selling it and reselling it for whatever a customer's willing to pay for it. So maybe there's just isn't much demand.
I mean, I feel like we could be honest. Like you and I both do business with Salad. Like they sponsor us, and we collect their money. And we represent them. They told me when I first got back with them, because I was like skeptical. I'm like, look, I'll run an ad for you. I'll do a video, but like it's not gonna rent. It didn't rent last time. And he's like, these are going for 3 months, and it's been 2 weeks, right? And I've had 100% usage. Like literally nothing's gone down. And if it's gone down, it was me or Windows being stupid.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But what I'm getting at, it's not anything with them. And like they're saying that these jobs are going till January or February sometime.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it is good that they are consistent. That's for sure. Remember, when you're talking about 19 cents, you got to take right around 10% off the top. So you're really talking closer to around.
Well, you mean because of
17,
how they pay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's the one difference when I talk about what I'm making on Vast. But again, I kind of think of Salad as there's going to be a certain number of people out there that are going to be like, I don't want to put in the time to learn Linux. I want to get my share. I want to participate. And for those people, Salad's great. Absolutely great. The other thing is, it's like Salad is like the nice hash of GPU rental. And I mean that in a good way, because it's super easy to set up. It's really easy to set up.
Plus, if we're being 100% honest, right? If I could go back, I would have GPU mined off nice hash way more. It would have saved me time. And obviously hindsight's 2020, right? But the way the altcoin market has been shaking out,
Yeah, I know.
that Bitcoin mining bullshit would have been so much better than the altcoins I screwed with.
Yeah, Rizzo actually, Rizzo just said, I turned my 3060 Ti off Salad. It was pulling 200 watts and making 3.2 cents. Not worth it for me. Yeah, honestly, I haven't really been tracking
I haven't been tracking the
levels.
power at all.
So I've been assuming, and when I do go down there, I look at the fans of the GPUs, and they're either not spinning or they're spinning intermittently, which tells me they're not really being used much. So I think it depends on the job you've received. I did have a bad job on a 3060 Ti for a little while. That might have been one of those jobs. I don't know. But yeah, it's I got to figure out which one I'm going to take down, because when I do build that Threadripper, I haven't built another rack yet, and I really don't have any room left in my rack. So I know where I'm going to put it. And it's going to be where one of my Salad rigs is. So one of my Salad rigs is either going to get moved, or turned off. One of the two. So, and I've kind of debated. I had somebody reach out to me saying, "Hey, you got 3060s you'd like to sell?" And I'm kind of like, "Yeah."
Why I would, dude. Here's the thing. So all right, I want to talk about this real
I mean,
quick.
they're only selling for about $200. It's not like it's gonna make me rich or
No,
anything.
no, but listen. So I have like I have like 7 or 8 3090s, right? I bought them used, and I'm gonna flip them for profit, and they're getting real popular now. And people are like offer. I have so many people reaching out to me for them. Some people trying to lowball. I know what I want for them, and I'm not selling for anything less. I was tempted to keep them and put them on AI. I'm like, no, screw that. I'm taking advantage of selling them. Like, I don't mind selling the shovels because one day they're not going to be as popular, right? So if your 3060 Ti's are back being popular, if you can do 2-to-1 conversion into 5060 Ti's, why not? They already made you money.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I don't know if you saw my eyes pop when I was looking at my rentals and I said, "Oh, that's interesting." Right now, my 3060 rig that had been rented for a few months, my dual 3060 rig, is now unrented, and I'm like, "Shit, maybe I'll run to Micro Center tomorrow or just order some 5060 Ti's and do a swap and sell those 3060s." Because my 5060 Ti's are doing well. They're always rented, either all 4 or 3 out of 4 are always rented, and they're rented for twice as much at the same power. So I look at it that way, is that I like having a variety because not everybody wants the same. But when it comes to efficiency, is the word I was looking for. When it comes to efficiency, that's obviously important. And we've talked about this last week, that there's only so much power I can have in the basement, not because of my limit for power, but for heat. And so if I can get double the money for those 250-60 Ti's than what I can get for a 3060, why wouldn't I?
I mean,
I'm seriously thinking about doing that. And that rig is at 99.914%.
So I need I do. So the reason I still have like all these GPUs for my tech channel, I try to have one of every single GPU from like the 1060 to the 5090, right? Like I can do content. Like so many people want random ass GPU comparisons, and they're easy for you to make, and they do great, right? And it's just great to have them. So that's why I have one, like for rentals, I have flexibility. Because like if these things are like, they're literally sitting on old mining frames when they're not being used, right? Like just stacked like a parking lot. So that's how I got back into AI. And I need one 5060 Ti 16 gig, and I was like, well, maybe I'll rent it too, right? Like you get the double dip content basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, the 5060 Ti is like the sleeper. The 16 gig is the sleeper. It really does well, and it has been cheap as hell. I don't know if it's still under $500, but I mean, I got my cheapest one, I think, was like $440.
I could get them for close to 400, and I like
Which
don't want
ones?
to spend that much. Is there a model that's worse than others?
Yeah,
Because I really don't care.
PNYs are horrible.
Really?
They really are. If you look at them, they look like it. Remember, like the old 1660 Ti bare versions of those? They were like that's what it looks like. It looks like a 5-year-old GPU right out of the box, in my opinion. It really looks bad, and it doesn't look like the heat sink's built very well. That's my opinion. And I know I heard somebody else say, yeah, whatever you do, don't get the PNY. And I have PNYs. I have PNYs for my 4090s. They work great. But of this model year, I would not do it on the 5060 Ti.
Is it because of looks, or is it because of performance? Like I don't care about looks. I just want the cheapest one.
Size, and maybe it's just right size, but here, let me see if I can pull up a picture. It's just
So Rizzo's saying his 5070 pulls 160 watts on salad, making 7.5 cents. That's not bad, actually. Kind of makes me want to swap out one of my my 5070 or my 4070 Ti Super for a 5070. I have one. I have one more coming, actually. Sorry.
That is not the one I'm talking about. That one looks nice. That's not the one I'm talking about.
Nobody can see your screen.
No, I know. I'm just saying that.
Hey, tomorrow, guys, the Newegg shuffle thingy that I did today, the doorbuster, they're doing a 5080 16 gig. If it's for like $750 or less, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna put it on salad.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Hey Max, are you gonna mess around with home ASICs to heat your house too?
No, I don't need to. I do not need to. I certainly have thought about it, but yeah, I don't need to. Here it is. Sure. That.
I don't mind that one.
Look beyond the black cover. Look at the heatsink.
Oh, that's small. I see all that white.
Look at all that space, and it's like it's just.
Yeah.
And look at the fan blades.
I mean, you can replace the fans. I don't care about that.
I just to me it looks like crap. There's like just so much space between all those fins. Maybe it moves air easier, I suppose, but I don't think it's going to move as much heat. And let me see. Let me get a different picture here.
Those look like the 1660 Super. Those single fans.
Yeah, that's my point. Is they look like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
Picture of it. Yeah, look at how thin that is.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. To me, it looks like a 16 series card.
Yep.
So that's why if I was going to get one, I would not get this one. And I'm not saying you need to get one that's like a 3-slot card, the same Coolidge you have on a 5090. Obviously not. But if I look at, let me switch to MSI.
Hey, you're like me. 700 Chrome windows up.
What are you talking about? I got 375.
How much RAM do you have in that system?
64.
Yeah, dude. Someone asked me how much RAM they should put in their PC, and my response was, "How many Chrome windows do you have up at any one time?" That was literally it. They're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, if you don't use Chrome, 16 is fine. If you use Chrome, 64 to 128 gigs is preferred."
Let me see. There's this one. I love this one. I have this one.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
Yeah, I really like the MSI.
Yeah.
It's got a good heatsink. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This is one that I like. I also like on this one that it's side to side.
So the Inspire models are really cool from MSI. Those ones are really, really nice for looks. So hey,
I just liked it just because it's basic, but so I'm not saying it has to be like super wide or anything, but it needs to. I wish I had a better picture of the actual heatsink, but the heatsink's good on this thing. So anyway, you get the idea.
So what I wanted to two things I wanted to bring up. The first one was I met this repair guy who does GPU mods, and we started talking, and he's taking a 3080 and putting it on a 3080 Ti board. He can do it. There's this BIOS he can use. It has to be a full hash rate one, but he can make 20 gigs of VRAM 3080s that work with all Nvidia drivers. Do you think that'd be worth it for AI rentals?
So the problem with doing that is how many other people are doing it, because when somebody's going out and looking for a GPU to rent, they're thinking, okay, I'm looking for this because they have in their mind how much RAM it has. Anybody who's out there looking will know that 4090s will either come with 24 or 48. They know that already.
Because it's been so widely done.
Right, it's been so widely done. But initially, I don't think the 48s did that great because people weren't really looking for them. The same thing in this particular case. Could it be good? Yes, but there needs to be some amount. There has to be a decent amount out there on the platform before people will recognize that, yes, this is a good thing and it's a good value.
So it doesn't matter at this point.
Right. Now, if you're talking about using it like at home for, at home LLM or something like that, it's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, the way for how much he talked about it, didn't seem bad. Because like I'm so all these 3090s I'm selling, by the way, are all going to people who are using LMMs at home. And I thought about messing around with that, but it just doesn't. I just rather my GPUs make money.
So I have a quick story to tell before I forget.
Sure.
Pivoting just a little bit. So I bought I'm opening this up now because I haven't even opened it up yet. I bought an open box CPU cooler from it was for the Threadripper. It was a U14S for TR5 slot. And unfortunately, when they gave it to me, it didn't have the tool because it required a specific torque like size in order to tighten it down.
Mhm.
And it didn't have the Y cables. So this is a good story about Micro Center. Not that I pretty much usually have good stories about Micro Center, but called them up, said instead of going there and actually wasting my time by driving there, I said, this is what happened. Do I need to bring it in or can we work something out? And so anyway, so we talked and I said, well, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let me think about this a little bit, see if I can find a solution. Cause I had asked them to just ship me the one that was in Chicago. And they're like, well, it doesn't really work that way. It's a different store. I can't really do that. They're like, you could call them. I'm like, if I call them as a consumer, why are they going to ship me a product for free? He's like, well, you'd be surprised. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, so I had sent an email to Noctua, which I never got a response to, which was interesting. I thought they had really good customer service, but I never got a response from them. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I can find on Amazon. And sure enough, I knew I could find the Y cables. So this is a box of Y cables. The interesting thing about it is you can buy these in either 2 or 3s and they cost the same.
You should just message me. I probably have some of those here.
Yeah, I thought I did, but I
sent you
used
one.
them, so I didn't have them. So anyway, so I got those. And then, yeah, there's actually a kit for people that had like TR4 versions of that cooler and they wanted to transfer them to a TR5. They make a kit with rails and also the tool. At least I hope it has a tool.
Wow.
I'm like looking at it. I better open it. They told me that the tool was going to be in here. But anyway, so they actually said, yeah, that's fine. They said, well, we'll give you up to a $25 refund. If you're able to work that out. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. It ended up being 30. And I said, I know you said you do 25, but can you do 30? Because that's how much it cost. I can walk you through it. He's like, no, you're good. I just didn't want it to be like $50 or something. I said, oh, okay. So yep, there it is. Tool's there.
I have so many of those I could send you.
I know the thing is, what's really stupid is I have I have this type of end to them as far as a
oh, not that end. I don't have that.
An Allen wrench. But the problem is that I couldn't find the spec anywhere. So I don't know if it's 3, 2, 4, 2.5. I don't know. I searched. I didn't do like too much searching, but I searched for a good 30 minutes. Could not find it anywhere.
Are you hey, did you ever figure out what you're doing for next year? Did you figure out if you're going? Bum.
I am so little story here. When I was in high school, I was recruited to the Air Force Academy, and I was moved from a preliminary candidate to a tentative candidate, and that's why I decided, no, I don't want to go there. So I'm tentative. I've moved from preliminary to tentative. I've logged in, I've created my account at CES, and now I have to do 2 things. So yes, I will be buying views for the specific reason of trying to get to 40,000 views this month so that by the end of the month, I can go and apply.
I mean, the ticket's like $7 or like $500 to $700. So it's not cheap.
I know it's not cheap.
And and it's crazy, right? When you go to print out your badge, if you lose your badge, it costs you like $500 for them to print you another one out.
What?
Yeah, don't lose your fucking badge.
Oh my Lord.
I don't lose my badge, so I'm good. Yeah, man. All right. Just double checking.
Yeah, no, I actually, it's funny because last night I was actually going through it. I already have my picture for the badge already uploaded.
Mine's so bad. Mine's so bad.
It's actually I actually use the same picture that I use for my live streams. So
I'm hoping that AMD isn't mad at me. I kind of put a hit piece out on them this week because they fucked up real bad. Did you see all that AMD drama? You see what they did?
I did not actually. What happened?
They put their RDNA 2 graphics cards, you know, some of them are 3 years old. They put them on legacy driver support.
RDNA 2?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, is that like the 6700?
Yeah.
600? Wow.
6950. Yeah, and every tech tuber on the planet crucified them for it simultaneously, and they walked it back a little bit. And they're like, well, we're going to update important games that people really want. But like their PR is so fucking bad, right? And this isn't even the first time their PR is that bad. And they're doing like...
But hang on. I don't crucify PR because where did it come from? Why are they doing this?
But why would you... Why, if you're trying to gain market share, why would you make Nvidia look good? Nvidia hates you, and they make them look like the man of the people.
I understand. So think about it. Why would they make this decision?
Because they're dumb.
Accountants.
You
got to cut back costs. You can cut back this cost. You don't need that.
How much money it's going to be?
They've already bought the GPU. Yeah, they don't need any more support.
Yeah, but you think they're going to upgrade to the next gen? You think that so
hey, you're not wrong. What I'm saying is that you work for a company. You got to know that stupid ass decisions get made because a bean counter thinks, hey,
that's beyond stupid. That's costing you money.
It happens all the time.
No, but here's the thing. When Polaris went to Legacy, people bitched. I defended them. I was like, guys, Polaris is 700 years old. You want them to still support it? Like, are you kidding me? Go play games. Whatever it can play now is all it's probably going to be able to play. Like, obviously it can play Battlefield 6, funny enough, but like it can't play new games. So like, don't complain. And then if they did it to RDNA 1, right? You know, the 6-year-old GPU, I wouldn't have said a word. Wouldn't have mattered. I still don't care. I still don't care that they did that.
That's why I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, RDNA 1. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't care. 2. I don't care. RDNA 2, which they're still selling new. Like, hey, that's a rhyme. That's a rhyme. You can make a haiku about AMD being dumb.
Right.
But like, I don't know why they're doing that. So, but AMD doesn't even work for AI, does it?
Actually, they're coming around, believe it or not. Like, there is certain things that it does work with now. Actually, and I know you can put AMD on VAST now.
You can?
Yeah. Can.
So would you? All right. So would
I buy AMD to put on VAST? No.
Why?
It's because it's not as in demand. Although, to be fair, I haven't researched it. I haven't looked. So maybe it is doing really well. I don't know. I haven't actually looked at it. I've still been under the assumption that Nvidia is the way to go because that is the general thought on it at this point.
Is it just CUDA? Is it like CUDA or bust at this point?
Yeah, CUDA is. Yeah, I mean that's what everybody uses.
Well, I mean, so you figure RDNA 2 probably would never be, good on AI. But what about like the 7900 XTX? That's got a lot of VRAM. It's not that expensive. RDNA 3. It's not CUDA, but
I'd have to really look to see, how it's doing, and I have not looked.
Swamp 7 says none of his are rented.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, on VAST.
At any price. Hey, thanks for being the guinea pig, Swamp 7. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, so you with how popular these GPUs are getting, and if we eventually end up in some kind of AI GPU shortage, which I think we will, I've been saying it. Now, I don't think it'll matter. I think ironically, having less VRAM is going to save PC gaming, ironically. But I would be interested to see if we do have some kind of shortage, if companies try to go with that DeepSeek style model, where they get GPUs with crappier VRAM counts and they make them usable on AI workloads.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just interesting, and it's funny because like it's funny how everything's changed so fast, right? Like even the diehard crypto miners, one of them's actually in here, are done. Right? Like GPU mining is such an afterthought now that you wonder if people are going to try to find ways to take all those 170HXs and make them with the 10 gigs and see if they can put them on like some LMM AI or some shit. I don't know.
I will tell you that that is absolutely the case.
Like, why are people buying 178Xs? They're not buying them to GPU
They
mine.
originally bought them to mine with, but yes, there are people that absolutely want the 178Xs for some type of workload that is not mining.
So it's funny. I talked to respect.io before. I kind of had a semi falling out with them because they're cheap fucks, even with us content creators. But they were telling me that like DeepSeek changed the game, and it kind of made everybody look at GPUs like 3080s or 178Xs, things that aren't necessarily bad but just have low VRAM, that could be the future of mining because you can get them so cheap. And Mindsome10 says the issues with ROCM Max, I don't know what that is. The issue is ROCM having issues with model deployment. It wasn't written for. I don't know what that means.
ROCM is the model. That's like what they use. I think that's their version of CUDA.
Okay.
So.
And then Panda's saying they rented it. Panda, did you take that rental offer, by the way? Did you take that and respond to my DM? No, it's like he's annoying. The only way you get him to respond to his DM is to call him out on stream, and then he's like, "Oh, forgot about this." I'm like, "Thanks."
Yeah, I know, because he never responds to mine.
Oh,
Ever.
yeah. Well, you know. And then he'll DM you first when he says he won't DM you first. Dynex. I mean, you guys, Max, you remember Dynex? I got so much shit because I called them a scam when they first launched. I was like, I'm gonna mine it because it's profitable, but this shit's a fucking scam. And I was right.
I don't know. See, the problem with Dynex is that I had it at wherever a lot of other people had it at Trade Ogre, and I'll never see it. So I'm kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
I heard somewhere that you could apply to get your money back for Trade Ogre since the government seized it. And I totally get, like, I don't mind that you know, like, I want it back, but I don't know if you can actually do that or not.
Okay, here's the thing. It was it wasn't KYC. How are you going to prove it's yours?
You give them the username and password?
Feel comfortable doing that?
I mean, I already lost it, so what the fuck does it matter?
I suppose that's true.
And like maybe you can prove transactions in. I can do that, or transactions out.
Yeah, I've already written it off. Let's just put it that way.
No, look, listen. Part of me was relieved that I didn't have to file any taxes for it because I don't have any of the data. So like I was kind of happy in that regard, and it sucked because it was some money, and altcoin bags. But whatever. I hate altcoins. Listen, I could go on a rampage about how much I hate altcoins. I hate all altcoin projects that are not listed on major exchanges. Waste of fucking time.
Sorry, I'm reading Red Panda's remark. Anytime he starts a comment, listen.
I don't like Discord DMs or any DMs for that matter because it gives me anxiety. Panda, then just text me your damn phone number and I'll text you over the border.
He's the only guy I don't have his phone number for. I have everybody else's phone number.
I have to text you, by the way. Yeah, like I don't even care. Like Panda, I don't even care. I'm just gonna text you. I'm gonna get your phone number from somebody and just text you. And I'm gonna be like, I know where you live, or I know what you did.
So you're saying you'd rather get emails, is what you're saying, Panda?
Why? Don't feel anxiety. You don't respond to anybody anyway.
Okay, hold on a second. You know how inundated he gets on DMs? It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he only look. If we're being real, and I love how we're talking about him, and he's right here, like he doesn't exist. but like, you figure he probably only responds to less than 0.5% of the DMs he gets.
Say
probably. He like say he gets 1,000 DMs, he probably responds to like 50 of them at max.
Well, I'm sure he filters through them. Well, no, you know what? As you can tell, I don't think he looks at them.
Well, so I would also agree. He probably only DMs people he's friends with. Like he only lets people DM him who's on his friends list.
Yeah, I guess I'm not friends with him anymore then.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm just kidding.
So all right, so
no, the thing is, I get it. If you have 1,000 DMs and you know that you're gonna get like 100 to 150 every couple of days, is that gonna motivate you to go in there to like filter through them? Because it's
So
No,
so at work,
it doesn't. It's work.
at work, I get hundreds of emails every day from people
Yeah,
who
but
need
you're also
something
getting
from me.
you're actually getting directly paid by the company to do that as part
No,
of
no,
your
no. Do you know how many I respond to? I ignore them all.
No,
I
I know.
respond to
So
3.
do I, but I don't go through 'em. By the way, this is what needs to happen. This is
I
a,
don't
a, a
care.
good thing. What I did at work is I was trying to figure out a way, I was trying to look at N8N to maybe do this, but I figured out a way with Google Scripts to actually have it send me a digest, a couple key points during the day. So I don't even read my emails. I wait for the digest to come in and I look through the digest. And then as I'm gonna basically fine tune that script so that it's only giving me the important emails. All the emails that I don't care about will not get in the digest.
So all right. So here's my unpopular
Hang
opinion.
on a second. If Panda could do that for his DMs, which I would think he could do, obviously not through Google Script, but do it through some automation tool, you should be able to do that.
So ironically enough, right, at work, everybody needs me on email, right? I just if I need you, like, so here's the thing, right? If you are above me, you're not sending me an email. You're calling me demanding I do something for you. And if you're below me, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. So like that's how I work. So like I literally respond. I sent out 6 emails this whole week and I got, I don't know, like 3,000. So like that's how I work. If you just do it like that, then it's golden. That's how you. Hold on, what does that say?
All right. Iowa says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Now where is Sunflower Mama? I like her better." I said, "Me too."
Oh, Iowa, I have to message you later.
She's
Oh, I
in
was actually
Florida. I'm picking her up from the airport tomorrow.
so funny story. I'm supposed to go see Iowa mining. I have work in his little podunk shitty ass town that he lives in.
Jesus.
Like literally, I have work there, but I am currently they hate me right there. Like they hate me right now. So I'm going to be forced down their throat in like 4 to 6 months. So when I go in there going, "Hey fuckers, you missed me," I get to go see Iowa at the same time. So that'll be nice. That'll be fun. Oh, Iowa, it also smells too. Like you might live in the worst town in America. Sorry, dude. Without doxing you, you might literally live in the worst town in America. So.
K-Shot says, have we tried mining any Neptune Cash? I don't know. I have not personally.
I hate altcoins that are not Doge or script based.
I am aware of that. I am aware of another coin as well that is being mined. That these 2 coins have gone up a lot. So I know that Neptune Cash kind of came to the forefront. I know after Panda talked about it on stream. The other one I haven't heard anybody talk about.
Who cares? You're gonna get it on an exchange. It's just gonna get stolen from you anyway.
Yeah, it is on. I think this one's on. Shoot, what is that one? It's a non KYC one.
Listen,
Anyway.
I'm ready to go on a rampage because it doesn't matter how much you make, or it's worth. If you can't get your money, who cares?
Ben knows what I'm talking about. He's like, Max, zip it.
You can tell me about it later, and I'm still not going to tell anybody. But who cares?
I don't even remember what it is. I did talk to Panda about it, so Panda I know knows about it.
Who cares if you can't get to it? Oh my god.
See, Bus Panda.
Bus Panda. Mine some. Are you still mining? Are you still mining, or are you going to change your name to AI some?
No, he's still mining. He is still mining.
Well, that's because where he lives, his power rate is nothing.
Hey, I will tell you, I miss your, unless I'm not catching them, but are you still streaming? I miss your streams, man. Miss your streams. I'd love to know. Hey, and if you ever want to come on here, let me know. Love to have you on here as well. But I am curious to see if you ever did like finalize a build for within an Octominer case. Anyway.
Would you wait? Would you? Hey, Max. Do you actually think that's possible to take an old Octominer X12 and convert it into like
technically, yes, it's possible.
Is it worth it?
Well, he was trying to figure out if it was worth it. I don't know if it is, but considering how expensive some of these cases are, might be.
I mean, all you got to do is gut theoretically everything should work, but the server board, right? You just gut the server board, get a different connector, and you're golden.
Okay, you've built a computer before. You know that I don't even know if they have a standard ATX connector into the motherboard.
Can't you
from
just
the server power.
rewire it? Why can't you just wire it?
Well, yes, everything you can rewire it for. You got 12 volt. You got, as long as you got 12 volt and you got 5 volt and you got 3 volt, 3.5 volt, whatever.
Yeah.
Those 3 voltages, you're good. You're going to be able to do it. The question is what do you need to do in order to wire it so that you have the right voltages and the right connectors for whatever motherboard you decide to put in there? So,
Hell, you could even just gut all of that and just keep the fans and run it off like a 1200 watt power supply.
that's the other part is that's great, but you need a fan header, fan controller. And my understanding is that's kind of the stumbling block, is getting a fan controller that can handle all the fans that handle that much power. So obviously if you just plug them in and have them run full blast all the time, yeah, then you really don't have anything to worry about. But if you want them controlled at all, that's kind of where things get a little
Swamp 7 says it works. We've been buying a bunch of PCSP ones using his Bread Panda's discount code. They don't
really?
PCSP doesn't pay us shit for those discount codes, so they probably aren't giving him anything for that. They suck. That company sucks. Wait, Max says put whatever you want with them. Don't pursue making a kit. What? I don't
He
know.
didn't pursue making a kit, is what he's saying. He was talking about making a kit and then selling the kit.
Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Could do Mind some 10. I don't know if you have members or things like that, but you could always like offer things like that to your members. You get more members that way. Be like, hey, I've got this, and then you just basically write up. You don't say like you're not selling it, but that you show people how to do it. Just a thought.
I mean, I thankfully only have one Octominer, and like,
interesting. So Swam 7 says I have the fan controller script on my GitHub to use the stock Octominer fan control.
Yeah, but the problem with those PCSP Octominers is when you
I don't have one of those, but yeah.
Well, when you turn them off, the fans still spin. You have to unplug you have to actually like unplug the power from them.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the PCSP ones, but I have the ones that are wider. I have a 12 GPU one, but it's not, the super skinny spacing. This is the wider spacing.
You want mine? I got one left.
I have two that I haven't used yet, so no, I would want to use those first before I would even think about it.
Dude, when that guy was like, I'll buy all 13 of yours, I was like, thank you, sir. Can I have another? Like, should have sold the 14th one. I was an idiot. All right, Max, you got me for another 20 minutes. What do you want to talk about?
I'm looking at some of the things that what is that even? Oh, that's troubleshooting. Got it. There's other things I can talk about after you're gone.
Yeah, I can't. I love hanging out, but I can't stay for 3 hours. I have to film videos, and I gotta go snipe some people in Battlefield.
Oh, so I get it. All right, no problem. So gaming is more important than being on this live stream. Okay.
I mean, be honest. Hey, so Swamp 7 just said something interesting. He said it's a 10K ohm resistor you need to cut off and solder into the motherboard, and then the PSU shut off. That would have been nice to know when I was mining with like 20 of those things. That's neat. That's cool.
Yep. Swamp 7 is a wealth of information in case you didn't figure that out. Oh, he totally is. So when I was background mining, back when mining was marginally profitable and AI wasn't going super crazy, I was mining in the background when I was on Vast, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Especially last winter when I'm like, okay, I don't have as much to do AI on, but I want to make sure I'm still generating heat. So yeah, he had a bunch of Docker containers that he had put together that I could pull into Vast as a background job. They made it like super easy. So yeah, he's definitely a wealth of information.
By the way, Max, there's going to be no 5090 end of life. And look, say what you. So I don't know Moore's law is dead, right? But I know people in that field, and I know where some of that information comes from.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that is spotty at best, if you're lucky. 5090s ain't going anywhere.
They certainly didn't make as many after they brought out the supers last time. The 49ers were not getting made as much.
Yeah, but they had less 4090s made than they had 5090s made. Because
so.
So all right. So think about this. Do you mind if I go on a pricing tangent real quick?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, what do you remember about the 40 series overall? For me, it's that the only one that was priced properly was the 4090, the most expensive one.
When you say, oh yeah, yes, I mean, actually, it's interesting you mentioned that. Yes, you're right, because everybody was saying that it was so much better than a 3090.
Yeah.
That if you at least take it, it was more than twice as good as a 3090.
Same price.
So price to performance, you actually were getting a better bang for the buck on a 4090. Everything else, because the price went up so much, you weren't getting a better bang for the buck.
No, but do you know? So here's my tinfoil hat theory that I don't actually think is that crazy. So 4090 came out right when Ethereum went it was like a month after Ethereum went proof of stake, right? And the GPU market collapsed overnight. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all do. Most of us do. And so Nvidia priced it based on the market, right? I would argue that if the 4080 came out first, like the previous generation, we would have had an $850 4080 and a $1,900 to $2,000 4090. Because Nvidia priced it and they were like, oh shit, this is selling like hotcakes. And then the GPU market must be fine. And then everything else didn't sell because the value was shit.
Right.
So we got lucky that the 4090 came out first. And the 4090 sold like hotcakes. And they were like, they were never planning on making a ton of them, I think, right? Because they never made a ton of 3090s or they weren't planning on it.
Right.
And they got caught with their pants down. And then they can't raise the rate $400 because PR looks terrible, even though it happened anyway.
Yeah.
So with this generation, with AI being so popular, and I mean, think about it this way: there are no two slot 5090s that aren't Founders, and the Founders is engineered to not work in a server case. Literally engineered to fail in a server case, right?
I don't know. Have you tried it? Have you know people that actually tried it?
No, but just look at the design. There's no way for the airflow to get out.
Well, there is. It's just flowing into the next GPU. No. Hang on a second. And I've heard it's oh shoot, what is his name? Anyway, it's not about the how hot the air is, as long as the air is moving.
You're
and
right.
The thing is as long as you have all that air moving straight across the cards, you're good.
But what I'm saying is, but like I had Founders in that PCSP server case, right? And they weren't moving, like they were so much hotter. But point is, I heard from sources that Nvidia was not allowing anybody to put these on 2-slot cards. Like you couldn't put them on blower cards. You will never find an official 5090 blower. Everyone you find are people just because they didn't want them in servers. These are gaming cards, not AI cards. They don't want you to buy these for gaming. Anyway, point is, they made a lot more of these because they thought the demand would be high for gaming. And they're still selling like hotcakes. And the demand is pretty high for gaming, but the demand's also high for AI. And I think there's a larger support.
There was a guy that actually put, pretty sure it was 5090s. It might have been RX 6000s. But anyway, he put 3 right next to each other. They were literally butting up against each other. And he was like, you're going to be surprised how good those thermals are. Because the air is, you have 3 sets of fans all blowing air the same direction.
So Mindsum says they will limit the 5090 to Founders after Christmas. Board partners won't get them. So I don't know if I believe that, Mindsum. I actually can reach out to some sources because he's also saying commercial pays 3x the price for VRAM. That is true, but something that happened that nobody talked about. that I talked to some sources in the all over, not just in that part of the industry, was that they were not buying the AI cards. The big Nvidia AI cards were not being bought because they were going for 5090s. They were absolutely going for 5090s, and Nvidia's fighting board partners with that. Not board partners. Nvidia's fighting the big data centers for that because they want that business. The big data centers want the 5090s because they're better value.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if you're right about that. I would think you're wrong because we still have a year left for the 5090. I mean, we still have a year left in the life cycle.
Hey, Bleach 500, as I understand it, and I was kind of getting a third hand through Northwest Repair, but they're basically talking about the fact that there's too much stress on the actual connector itself, because it's basically a connector bolted into, so there's just a lot of stress around that one point. But for those people that have them vertical, probably won't have that problem.
So Swamps, Mindsum says I'm confirming. Yeah, no, So I yes and no, Mindsum, because they still want these to go to gamers, right? And something else that we didn't talk about that I just realized was that our DNA 5 is going. The rumors say it could hit somewhere in 2026. I don't necessarily believe it, but if it does hit somewhere by then, Nvidia needs to be ready with more 5090 supply. But I don't know. That I don't have any confirmation on. That's just me kind of spitballing. And first of all, I don't have any confirmation on any of this stuff. I just hear people talk who are way more in the know than most people. So, that's all.
Swam7 said RTX Pro 6000 is what data centers are buying. How much are they going for now, by the way? Are they gone up in price? Because I thought
they
saw
had all
some
gone
like
down.
I thought I saw some of them going for like 7,600 or something, but I was surprised at that. I was surprised they came down that far, but maybe they just weren't selling at 9.
Well, people weren't buying them at 9. So, Max, did you ever figure out what you were going to do with that? Are you going to go for those?
I'm still thinking 7,500 to 8K. Okay. I am seriously thinking about, that's what I'm thinking I will do with the Threadripper eventually, is put 2 RTX 9000s on that, or 6000s on that.
Wouldn't it be worth trying? Because that's like an inflection point for you. It's like, do you go shed or no shed? And if these things end up doing really well, that means you don't have to get a shed.
Right. No, I hear. Yeah, we had this whole discussion last week. Trust me, I've been thinking about it.
No. I mean, we had a lot of that off air. Like.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. I thought it was on air, but yeah. So we were talking about it last week, where, everybody's limited on power to a certain extent, and when it comes to power, it's also about heat extraction. So if you can increase the amount of money you're making for the amount of heat or power you are using, hey, great idea, right? And then I don't have to expend the expense of building a shed. So do I spend an extra couple grand on some high-end cards that are much more efficient, or do I spend like 20 grand on a shed? Sounds like a pretty easy decision, right?
No shed.
Yeah,
From the guy who did it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's so actually transitioning a little bit. So I got this. In fact, I'll put it up here if I can find it. Let's see, AC Infinity. Actually, I'll just go to their website. I got this product, and I know I showed it last week, but I was just going to remind everybody, where would it be? Controller AI Plus, I think it's. Where would it be? It's like, I hate that I cannot find this on their website, because what they have in here is way, like, I don't use it for what they think I'm using it for. All right, hang on a second. Let me just do this. AC Infinity AI controller. Yeah, there it is.
Jackson Digital says, 170 HXs were 4K a few years ago. Yeah, and those guys made
Yeah.
decent amount of money. The only guys in crypto mining that really lost their face were those dumb fucks who bought all the BC 250s at like 20 whatever they cost. Remember those, Max?
Yeah.
They lost their faces on that. To
Uh,
shed or not to shed? That is the question.
that is the question.
Listen, I look from someone who shedded and it ended up working out for them. If I could do it over, would I still shed? Then I would have. I certainly probably wouldn't now.
All right. Here, let me bring it up here. Which one is it? Not window. Here's screen. There we go. That one. There we go. So this is basically what I bought, and it actually works out pretty well. What I've done, because what I was trying to do was I have my 2 outlet fans, and I wanted them each to operate like individually. And then I wanted it to actually also control an intake fan as well. Couple problems came up. One was the fan I was using as my intake fan. If you turn it off at the outlet and then turn the outlet back on, the fan doesn't turn on.
No,
It's electronic, so you have to turn it on. So I was like, oh, that sucks. So that part didn't work. So I actually have to return the sensor. That, unfortunately, that's the other bad thing, is it did not work. I bought a secondary sensor that was supposed to work with it. It isn't sensing it for some reason, but that's okay. It's I didn't realize it actually came with 2 sensors, and it works out really well. So this little thing right here on the edge of it is one sensor, and then you can then use this cable to move this other one with like 12 feet. So basically I've got the that at the floor, and then I've got the other sensor like up high, like in the heat aisle. So it took a little bit of experimentation to like figure out like where I wanted the temperature to be upstairs and where I was comfortable with it being downstairs. And right now I've got a good setup where I basically have it set up like at about 89 degrees in the hot aisle, and that leaves it at like 78, 79 degrees in the basement. At the floor level, it's about 72, and that does bring up heat upstairs, so it's about 72 or 73 degrees, pretty steady at the current temperature. But I love this thing. It worked out really well. So what I ended up doing was I originally put the first 2 plugs on each of the outlet fans, but they would either turn them both off or both on. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted. So what I ended up doing is I used their AI feature to do the main fan, and basically it says I want the range of temperature to be between this, and it then figures it out and it keeps it within that range, in a pretty tight range. And then I programmed the other one through automation to say, if it gets to this temperature, I want you to turn on, and when it goes when it goes up above like 5%, I want it to turn on to then bring it back down to that temperature. So the second fan will probably never go on, at least not during the winter, but it's been working absolutely great. It took me a while to get it like dialed in, but once I got it dialed in, it works great. It's just really hard when every piece of documentation is about growing. It's about growing something inside your house, and it's like that's not what I'm doing. So it's like just irrelevant to what I'm trying to do. So when they're talking use cases, it's like, that's not my use case. So I had to kind of invent my own use case on this thing. But like I said, it's worked really, really good. I just got to remember to send back the second sensor. It didn't work. And B, I just don't need it anymore because the other fan doesn't work. So, or doesn't work that way. I can't turn it on. So anyway, I just happened to come across this like a week and a half ago, ordered it, and man, I'm really glad I came across it. It's great. And no, this is not sponsored by AC Infinity. I bought it with my own money. I found it.
Should message them, get them to.
I know. I wanted this thing. I wanted to try it out. The interface is good too. It could be better. I'm not going to lie. It could definitely be better for what I want to do, but it does work. It also has a Home Assistant link that I got to figure out how to build a dashboard around it, because right now it's sitting there as data. It's not really in any usable format at this point.
And you know what you can do? Or you could do what I do with my farm, and I leave my garage door open to my house, and the heat just goes into the house.
Yes, if I'm not in the garage, I leave the door open to the basement so that it comes upstairs.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it works.
It's actually it's funny because the garage is like a hot box right now, and it's hilarious because like I have 4 GPUs and like 2 solo miners in there, and I don't remember how the hell I mined with how many rigs I had for so long in that garage, and didn't blow it up. Basically, how hot it was. Like I'm just looking at them now, and I'm like, oh my god, this is hot. So,
I mean, I'll tell you what, when in the hottest days, like when it's like mid 90s, it's mid 90s in the basement.
Yeah, you're right.
The air comes in, the air goes out. It does not go above the ambient temperature.
So, you know, it's funny when my shed had, my shed had 150 GPUs at the max or something like that. When it was 110 degrees outside, the shed was 10 degrees hotter than it was 120 in the shed. Like,
Swamp 7 says, why don't you just buy the AC fans? They are variable rate fans, not just on off. Oh, you're not wrong. But I already had the fans. So I'm not going to replace the 2 Gable fans that I have that are like 4,000 CFM, 2,000 each. So yeah, I'm not going to replace those. And
on that note, I am at my time. I love you, Max. This was fun. I'm not getting dragged into 3 hours. I have work to do as much as I want to stay. I'll hit you up later this week, and thank you for having me. And
you being here.
I will. Hey, I'm actually going to reach out to some people, Max, about what you're saying on the 3090 or 5090. I mean, I'm curious to see if they've heard. And if I don't talk to you by like Tuesday or Wednesday, reach out to me, and I'll see what I hear.
Cool, we'll do.
All right, later, guys. Thanks for having me. Like and subscribe to Max Voltage's channel, and don't forget mine. Peace out.
All right, see ya. Thanks.
Later, man. Thanks for having me.
See ya. All right, let me
This pivot might just heal the hurt. I got the crypto mind in blues, but I'm stepping in brand new shoes. The AI trains on a steady roll, gonna wreck compute and regain control.
I was digging deep in the digital ground, hoping for treasure, but nothing was found. The rigs were buzzing, the heat was real, electric bills biting like a thief who steals. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. I stacked up GPUs, thought I'd strike it rich, but the market's a beast with a wicked glitch. Hash rates climbing, rewards falling flat. Chasing that coin, I'm chasing a cat. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. AI knocking, it's a brand new game. Whispering sweet that it knows my name. Ran out the power, let it learn and dream. A smarter hustle, a brand new scheme. Now my GPUs hum a different tune.
Yes, I was muted ever since I came over. Sorry about that, guys. Hope you guys can read lips. I'm not going to go back. There wasn't anything that important that I talked about. I was just kind of going over the chat. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's talking. No wonder I got behind in the chat. Everybody's like, you're muted, you're muted, you're muted. I'll never know his last words. No, I don't like talking to myself. But so when I'm using Video Ninja, I have to mute my mic over here, and so because it's coming through on Video Ninja. I could have just left it over there, but I have this template that I use, so I just figured I might as well do that. But I gotta remember to unmute when I do that. I will not end on mute, so I appreciate you guys not having it. I still have a few more things to talk about, actually. All right, at some point, the whole time after recruitment, I know. Did he text me? He didn't text me. I must have became unmuted before he texted me. I also think he's giving away some GPUs. You know, I don't recall that. I'll have to look back and see if that's what my mouth was actually saying. Wow. Let's see. Lip reading keeps saying RPM was right. RPM was right. Alrighty. All right. Yeah. Heck, lost a lot of viewers when I did that. That wasn't very good. Oh well. All right. So a couple of things. So I don't think I talked about this last week. I actually looked it up. So, actually it wasn't a huge amount or anything, but I traded in some gold. That I had actually was more of the silver from my father-in-law, and took it to, well, my wife actually did it, took it to a place. I was looking, so the reason why I brought that up was I was looking to see taxes, like how is that taxed? But because it's a gift, and basically as soon as we got it, we turned it into cash, no taxes on it. So anyway, just thought that was kind of interesting, because I was kind of wondering if I was going to get hit with taxes on that. Not that anybody would probably see it or not, but I just wanted to know what the right thing to do was. Yeah, no tax. Sweet. Like that. So Community Solar, I did put out a short on it. Yeah, it's doing exactly what I said it was doing. I'm paying 80 cents in the dollar for everything that it generates. And so I got my first bill, and set up my first payment, for it. And, yeah, it was great. It saved me $69, on that first bill. So yeah, worked out really, really well. So like I said, I will be putting out a video on that eventually, and we'll be pushing, obviously affiliate links and stuff like that. I think it's a no-brainer. It's an absolutely no-brainer. If you're paying standard rate or if you're paying some other rate, doesn't matter. You're still, whatever the savings is in Illinois, it's pretty high, but whatever the savings is, it's savings that you wouldn't be doing, and there's nothing to it. There really isn't. You just got to kind of ignore the setup period. And the only thing that you need to keep in mind is that if you're really trying to do as much of it as possible, you're going to end up paying more for community solar in the summer because you're generating credits. So you're going to pay more for your power bill in the summer, but when you get to the winter, well, you've actually paid for the winter bills in the summer, kind of like you would when you have solar. In summer, if you just have a regular house and you put stuff on your roof and it's been sized correctly, you're going to be generating more electricity than what you're using during the summer. And then during the winter, obviously, you're using some of those credits. So really properly, you should be setting it up and doing it that way. I have not gotten enough community solar yet. I am going to be getting more, or at least requesting more here shortly, so that, so I can make better use of all this and lower my overall rate even more. Right now, it's lowering me a cent to a cent and a half by going with this program. So worked out really, really well. I still haven't gotten a bill from ComEd. Last bill I got was August 15th. So it has been over 2 months since I got a bill from ComEd. Hopefully they get it fixed sooner or later. I hate to get like I'm just prepared for like a $2,000 to $3,000 bill. Wouldn't it be great if they like December 10th, due on Christmas? Bah humbug. They did say that if you get a big bill, call us. We can spread it out. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. Oh, another thing I purchased. So the Threadripper came with a 10 gig port on it. And I was kind of like, I've got 10 gig ports on the Switch in the basement, and I'm only using one of them. So I did buy 4 SFP Plus 10 gig ports to go into the Switch, and also to go into the Octo server, because the Octo server that I have came with 2 SFP Plus ports. I'm only going to put one in. I'm just going to use one 10 gig port. But next time that the renters fall off of it, I will go in there and basically do some maintenance on it and plug it in and get it going on the 10 gig port. We'll run a little bit faster. I mean, as far as downloads, on the uploads, it won't change anything, but on the downloads, it should help out a bit. So decided to do that. Again, these are all like little small purchases just to do small upgrades to the farm. Let's see, what else did I have? We'll be building the Threadripper. I want to get I don't know, maybe I'll build the Threadripper tomorrow morning, or at least start to. I think I have enough of the Duranaut left to do that. Let's see if I use it. I don't know. I probably won't do that tomorrow because I want to get the other one up and running, and I'm going to need the rest of the Duranaut for the 5950X when it arrives tomorrow. I want to get that one up and running. So I'm not sure what time it's going to arrive, but I did order that. So yeah, I've been going through the thermal paste a bit. Went over that. So 2 more things. So I talked a little bit about the server, but the troubleshooting, like I said, I've learned so much over the last couple of days as far as all the possibilities in the in BIOS. And like, I've been going through ChatGPT and Claude, and I've been seeing these things happen. There's different levels of access. Like when you like put a certain, like, what was interesting was LN2 was a trigger to get additional settings. That one made sense. But a lot of these other ones, you're like, why are all these other things showing up just because I triggered it with this? And so anyway, I found that very interesting. I mean, and it's multiple. It's like 5 levels of different settings based upon what you do, and you need to do it in a certain order to trigger some of these things. And then one of the things that ChatGPT was going to do is it was actually going to have me go into like the EFI code and make a change so that it would open up the rest of the settings. So I'm probably not going to do that just because I don't really want to chance it on a brand new motherboard. But I found that pretty interesting. So, all right. Anyway, that was that. And the last thing I wanted to go over was Flux. Yikes. So Flux has been going through some issues since the fork. I had trouble with one of my nodes. Did manage to get it fixed, but it took about 12 to 14 hours for me to finally get it all fixed up. So that was definitely a little frustrating, but they are frantically, I wouldn't say frantically, they are hard at work to resolve any of the issues that may be still outstanding. So, oh, that was what I wanted. This is, where is it? There it is. So like right now, the Flux Gravity version, like the version that came out either right before or right after the fork was version 7. They're up to version 7.07. So a .7 of that. And then the Demon is up to 9.05. And again, 9 came out right around the fork. So yeah, 5 different dot versions, of the Demon, and the Flux OS, they have 7 versions of that. So yeah, I'm hoping that it calms back down, gets some more stability. They definitely had lost some nodes on the network, that's for sure. Let's see where they're at now. They're back up to about 7,400 nodes, but that's significantly less than where it was. It was closer to around 8,000, I think, before the fork. So Nimbus nodes is up almost to 1,600. That was almost at 1,700. So mine is one of the ones that's down. So that has nothing to do with the fork. That has everything to do with my server being down. Stratus nodes are up over 1,500. That's new. That was below 1,500. So they're getting there. They're definitely getting there. So, and the utilization seems like it's holding steady. I do have one of my Cumulus nodes with two apps on it. What's interesting is that's the one that isn't Arcane. That's the legacy one. That's the one that has work. That seems a little odd to me. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. I'm going to be, like I said, be bringing that other Flux node up, and I will be bringing up a second Nimbus node once I get up. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. If I'm going to put it on a NUC that I have, I should say an Intel NUC that I have sitting in front of me that I still have a ETCMC node running on, although I guarantee it's just booted to Windows right now, just sitting there. It's probably not doing anything. So I may just move it to that. But we'll see. Haven't officially decided. I'm either going to do that or put it on the Threadripper. All right, let me go back to the chat. Yeah, give me the GPUs. Let's see. I was ready to put a cartoon voice to you. Sorry, guys. Hey, I've been longer where I've been muted. Not much though, but I've had it when it's been longer. JB just passed a new tax bill, I heard. I don't think so. I didn't hear about any new tax bill. Our taxes are still 4.9 something. So, yeah, I'm not aware of any tax bill. I knew what you meant. He's talking about JD Pritzker, which is the governor of Illinois. Let's see. Oh no, 3use E. I'm not sure what that's referring to. I guess he's trying to find somebody. And anyway, Rizzo says, "Dang, I need to get me a house and some solar where you are." LOL. Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I paid more than other people that did it themselves. That's for sure. But at the end of the day, for a 6,000 watt system, I paid about $7,800 after all the incentives. So not bad. A little over $1 a watt. Jay Styles says, Max, problem is community solar only in like 5 states, not here on the East Coast. Which state on the East Coast, Jay Styles? I know that, for instance, Clearway is in Massachusetts. I do know that it isn't 20% off in Massachusetts, but they are in Massachusetts. So there are quite a few states that do have community solar. And yes, there are definitely some states that like Clearway's only in like 5 states, but there's other ones that that do have it in other states. Thanks for subscribing, Bernardo. Appreciate it. Welcome. 10G has distance limitation. Not sure how far run to basement. It's not far. Literally the drop from my router up here is straight down and a little bit over. So it's like a 50-foot run, something like that. And it's run on Cat 6A. So it should be fine. So yeah, it's not long. Obviously, if I was running it out to a shed or something where it was going to be a couple 100 feet, yeah, that'd be a little bit different. Let's see. Context of title just arrived. Oh, basically we were talking about it earlier that 5090s, there was Moore's Law is Dead. That video, that channel had a video where they were talking about that 5090s weren't going to be made anymore, and they were kind of referring back to the previous series where 4090s were not being made. They were being made, they just weren't being made in the same quantity that they were being made prior to the Super Series. Could that happen with 5090s? Yeah, I think it will. I think if people are buying things for AI, I know that Nvidia wants people to be buying RTX Pro 6000s for that, not buying 5090s for renting out AI. So that's where they're trying to drive that business, which makes sense. Oh, so funny story. So yesterday I was at work and I ordered dinner from Portillo's. Guy picked it up from Portillo's. He had multiple pickups. He went to Papa John's and there were like 20 DoorDashes there and it was a cluster. Talked to the guy, I said, you can cancel that pickup. Yeah, but it'll knock me down, whatever. Like, it won't if you don't do it. If you only do it for these situations, it won't knock you down at all. And he's like, I'm not willing to take that chance. I'm like, all right, I get it. So he had my food. So then I called Portillo's and said, hey, this is where my food is. It's sitting at Papa John's. The guy's not moving. Can you help me out? So they basically remade the order, sent it out with a dedicated, because you have the ability to say whether or not you want to get it fast, which means it'd be dedicated. So they sent out with a dedicated driver. I got it. And right as I'm leaving work, so this is like, that order came in like around 9:45 at night. I originally was supposed to get it at like 8:45. So I was like ready to gnaw off my leg at that point. So then I'm leaving at 11 o'clock. And I'm glad I didn't leave right at 11 o'clock because the guy drives up. I get a message on my phone. Guy's here dropping off my food. And I'm like, well, he ain't at the door. So he was looking outside, seeing everybody leave. So he thought I was already gone, but my car was the last one in the lot. So, so I went out there and I'm like, are you so-and-so? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm Max. I'll say that. And you've got my food. And he's like, oh. He's like, wow, you're still here. I'm like, yes, I am. So I ended up bringing home that hamburger and also a second drink. So that was kind of nice. And then tonight, me and my son had pizza. I love pizza. It's the one thing I splurge upon. I'm not like, so I eat mostly keto, which is done more for health reasons than it is for, losing weight or something like that. Like my ketones are okay. They're not going to be like super high, like for people that are like super dedicated to being on keto, but it helps keep my sugars down and it helps keep my weight in check because I don't have desserts or sugars or, Halloween, zero, nothing. I had no, and people were offering me candy bars left and right at work. I'm like, nope. Slippery slope. Oh, it's Halloween. It's just Halloween. I'm like, yeah. And then tomorrow I'm going to want more of it. Nope. I'm off of it. I mean, it's addicting. It's addicting. So did that. Yeah. So yeah, Portillo's, good stuff. Not sponsored. Should be though. make really good burgers. But yeah, their Italian beef. A lot of things. When I'm one of the things I was really glad they introduced was Italian beef and sausage in a bowl. So I basically get it with the green peppers and no bun, just in a bowl. It's really good, really really good and filling. Bleach says the Center Square Illinois lawmakers have passed wide-ranging energy legislation, but opponents say it will lead to higher electricity bills. Senate Bill 25, also known as the Clean and Reliable. I'll have to look at that. And it sounds like it's only in the Senate, so it hasn't gone through to the House yet, is what it's based on what you're writing there. So it hasn't passed yet, it's just passed the Senate. But yeah, there is I know that there, now that you mention it, I do remember there being something. There was transportation. So yeah, taxes in general, I'm not sure if they're going up, but the net amount that we pay to the state, which is a tax, but like for instance, like right now the proposal is for tolls to go up 45 cents a toll. That's insane. 45 cents a toll is already highway robbery if that's all it was, but it's more than that right now. And now it's gonna cost me $2 to $3 a day more just because of that increase. It's like, great. $3 times 5, 15. That's $60 a month times 12. It's almost $500 a year. It adds up. That's crazy. So I'm getting to the point where it's like, screw it. I'll take an extra 15 minutes to get to work, and I won't take the toll way. I'll take the more direct way. It'll be a pain in the butt, but yeah. So when that happens at the beginning, it's not supposed to happen until the beginning of 2027. So it is a while before that actually happens. But yeah, I forgot about that. I did hear about that just that portion of it on the news. But yeah, that would make sense that they are talking about additional revenue generating ideas. I just didn't hear about a specific income tax increase. But obviously there's gas tax, there's all kinds of different taxes. So those are probably the ones that are going up. Let's see. I'm so glad I'm moving. 5,000 now in Alabama. It's less than. Oh, in Alabama, it's less than 1,000. Yeah, I know. My son lives in Alabama. It's not less than 1,000, but it's a lot less. Property taxes in Alabama. Yeah, I know. Anyway, my son lives in Huntsville. So he actually happens to be sitting right next to me. He's up from Huntsville. So glad to have him here. But yeah, we, our daughter's up here. He's down there. My job's up here. But yeah, it's something we've talked about that maybe, depending on where my daughter's career takes her, it might be at a point where we might move into closer to one or the other of them, wherever they end up. My son just, whoever they like more. Well, that'll definitely be Mia. So anyway, no, it'll be wherever we think is better weather and a better place to retire. No, because Illinois is not a great place to retire. But anyway, Chicago driving sucks in general. I'm glad I don't work for my last company anymore. I had to trip around there a couple times. So I am on the outskirts. I drive from around the Schaumburg area to around the Joliet area. So I'm going straight down 355 and 55. I'm reverse commute. I am not having to deal with, I have to deal with traffic. I mean, I don't care where you're going. You're going to deal with a little bit, but it isn't anywhere near as bad. On the way to work, I can usually make to work in just under 50 minutes, and it's just under 50 miles. So I'm making good time. On the way home, on the other hand, there's one spot that it backs up pretty bad. Depending on if you leave late, like if you leave around 7, you really don't have much of a backup. But if you leave anytime after 3 o'clock, that area is going to back up. And that's 55 east going to 355 north. That area backs up bad. But anyway, so it usually takes me about hour 10 to get home on average, something like that. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a bit less. Last night I was home quick. It was 50 minutes. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to speed, but I'm not going to speed that fast. Normally I go like 80 on the way to work. But on the way home, if it's dark and there aren't that many cars around, I just set the cruise to 72 and nobody's going to pull me over for that. So just makes it a lot less stressful of a drive. On the way to work, I'm just trying to get there because I'm already thinking about all the things I got to do. Gulf Shores, I'm moving next year. Nice. Yeah, so my son just said Chicago drivers are definitely better than Alabama drivers. Yes. Not to offend anybody from Alabama here. Jackson Digital says, half family in Montgomery. It ain't the best place, but there is milk for sale at groceries. Move to Alabama. Yeah, there's definitely some areas that are less than ideal. I mean, Huntsville's really nice because it's high tech. It's like a high tech corridor there. You know, you've got the Redstone there. You got NASA. So there's government jobs there. You've got a bunch of manufacturers. They've got a huge Toyota and Lexus plant there. Mazda's also got a huge plant there. So, oh, it's Toyota and Mazda. Well, there's also a Lexus there too. Right, exactly. So yeah, for a little well-known fact, the RAV4 hybrid engine is actually the hybrid engine, exact hybrid engine that's in the CX-50, the Mazda CX-50. So looking for a hybrid instead of going for a RAV4, better off going for a CX-50. It's much better car in my opinion. Let's see what else we got. I had to trek from Indiana to Joliet and Woodstock. Yeah, that's a haul. That's a haul, but at least you're not going through the city. If that's your path, like around the city, so that's not too bad. I quit when they wanted to start driving downtown. Yeah, I used to drive a lot downtown when I drove for Uber, and I didn't mind it so much. I did get mad when I got hit by a taxi and the taxi didn't want to stop. And I still ended up getting my pound of flesh, of money, I mean, not literally a pound of flesh. I still managed to get my money to make the repair from the taxi cab company. I had so many people like, why are you even bothering? You're never going to see a dime. Like, they will want me to go away. I will become an annoyance to them because I will not let it go. And it wasn't as bad. I think they either just realized that, or I don't know, maybe people make that assumption, and I don't know. It wasn't that hard to get my money for the repair. And the repair was minor, but still didn't want to have damage to my car that wasn't compensated for. That's for sure. Yeah, hell no, cabs won't stop. Yeah, this guy looked like there's nothing there. I'm like, I can see it on your car. You have my paint on your car. How can you say that your paint isn't on my car? You can see it right there. How do you know that's mine? I just told you. My paint is on your car. So I took pictures before you could leave. So, and then I had witnesses. So I actually called the cops. And then a couple of the witnesses were nice enough to stay. So I had actually a police report with witnesses of what had happened. So that, I think, was kind of why I got my money. But yeah. Alrighty, guys, I have been going 2 hours. 2 hours. And I'm not going to go 3 tonight. I don't think you guys want me to go 3. That's for sure. I was just checking to see if anybody else had popped in, but they didn't. I invited a few people tonight, but everybody was kind of like, yeah. Crew Man was pretty much the one that I thought I had the best chance of having here. But seriously, if Mind Some 10 is still here, and he's probably left, but if you're watching this after the fact, we'd love to have you on. So, alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. I was going to say something, and I don't remember what it was before I do my normal tag, of course. Next week. So next week, I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to stream. I might do earlier in the day next week. Reason why is my son's in town. He's leaving the next day, and we're doing like a family Thanksgiving, early Thanksgiving, since my sister-in-law is going to be in town as well. So everybody's here. So we're going to do an early Thanksgiving. So I don't want to feel like it's family time. We don't get together that often. It's difficult. So this is an opportunity. So I'll probably do maybe an after Panda stream. I'll double check with Rabbit if he's doing anything. So I may switch just next week to that time. And then I won't be doing anything like next Saturday night. Anyway, alrighty, guys. Well, thanks again for being here. I appreciate it. And as always, no tabs were harmed in the making of this live stream. Have a good one, everybody.